Eventually, some of you are going to branch out to start your own company or to manage other branches of Adbond, probably in Ibadan, in Oshun, exactly, in Abuja and other places. So you'll be independent and you are going to need this knowledge full time. So, definition of terms. This topic has 3 terms. That is town planning, planning approvals, and property development. Town planning, planning approvals, and property development. So I'll start from town planning. Town planning is the process of designing, managing the physical and social development of urban areas. Let me just skip this other part. Then it involves a range of activities such as land use planning, transportation planning, environmental planning, and community engagement. I believe someone was here some time ago to talk about the importance of zoning. I followed it on YouTube, so I'm sure you already know a bit of what this entails, town planning, zoning, and all of that. Then, planning approvals is the process of obtaining permission from relevant authorities. And what is this permission that you are trying to get from them? The permission you are trying to get is property development permissions. And what's property development? It's the process of buying, improving, selling, or leasing real estate for the purpose of, I had to asterisk this, for the purpose of generating profits. I had to quote it because that is, if you are doing it without generating profits, it's not property development. If you say product development, for instance, product development is when you enhance a product so you can sell it. If you harvest mangoes, for example, if you are doing philanthropy, you are going to share it, sell it and all that. But if you are going to add value to it, you wash it, you put it on the tray, and you sell. Then if you are going to add more value to that, you extract the juice and you sell as smoothie or whatever. Same thing with every product we have here. For example, this wood is processed. Our laptop is a compartment of processed resources together. And same thing when it comes to property development. The land is on its own, right? But real estate developers see potential in the land, they acquire it, and develop it. So now we are adding value to the land that we are buying. 10 years ago, there was just cassava on the land, or almost nothing on the land, probably just weed on the land. Adbond said, you know what, let's develop this land. They went to the Bale, they went to the people there, they went to the community, they spoke with the community, they said, okay, you know what, this is your property, people don't know about it. Let's be your mic. Let's be your marketing strategy. So that at least the resources you get from this property, you can need to buy yourself a bike, you can need to send your children to school, and all of that and all of that. These people would have not even believed that that land that is just sitting there could be worth ₦1 million. But when there has been property development, when there has been value added, then that's real estate. And do you even know the funny thing about this? When just the land where you see pineapples today, or where you see the cows grazing today, becomes that you see there, the value is going to skyrocket in such a way that you'd have never believed that this is what we're selling for about less than $1 million for some years ago. That is property development. So the importance of town planning approval in property development. I'll start with this. When we look at this here, just try to read. The whole PowerPoint is for you, right? So you can read, you can jot. I'm not going to be quoting it or reading like that. But then when we look at this here, and look at this. This is Alimosho local government. master plan. The whole of this is Alimosho Local Government master plan. And you can see some yellow colors, some green colors, some red colors, and see the whole of this place looking like mixed colors and all that. These are color codes. Already, about 10 years ago, a planning firm was contracted this Alimosho master plan, and they call it land use and infrastructural, land use and infrastructure proposal map, final. So what this is this whole yellow is residential use. The whole green is recreational or reserved. So meaning you are not meant to build around that side. The red is infrastructural use. This here is the the international airports, as you can see here. Then this other red are public use or infrastructure. Now, a property developer just goes there and says, this place is a swamp, let's buy it. Then they buy it. Then they start developing. They may not know what's happening. Now, they are doing it legally. So that means that they are not even sure of the use from the government. And they just continue. They've already constructed, started selling, and the government will just be there looking. You know why? Because it's also expensive to demolish. And the government is wise. They cannot spend their money to demolish anyhow. So what they do is that they serve notices, and some of these people don't adhere to it. They just continue. The government will be looking. They'll not be watching. When they have enough money, or when they need that particular area, they now come out in full force and start clearing. For example, if they want to construct a road, maybe from year to year, this is just a local government. There's another local government here that they have to link. So they want to construct a road from year to year. For example, we have something like that, the 4th Mainland Bridge coming. And they are telling you that the 4th Mainland Bridge is going to cross through the island. And people are asking that, there are properties there, what will happen to the properties? They are going to go. They will go, they will disappear. And why is that? Because most of those properties you see there are illegal development. They don't know. The Bale has collected their money. Real estate developers have collected their money. The government doesn't care. The government will not come and start disputing or trying to settle fights between you and the person that you bought land from a while ago. You build mansion or anything, road is passing there, there's nothing you can do about it. So now look at this. Part of why, these are 4 reasons why this is important, just out of how many, part of many rather, but these are just 4 that we'll be discussing. This whole topic is broad. We are supposed to even be discussing title, documents, and other things, but just for the purpose of this, we are just going to be treating legal compliance, protection of the public, environmental sustainability, and property value. So let's go for the legal compliance first. So when you go to anywhere that you want to buy land, the first question is, who is the owner of a land? If I asked everyone here to tell me who the owners of the land is, many of us will say family, Bale, community, and all that. But according to the land use law, under the Nigerian law, the state government are the ones supposed to regulate land. Who issues you certificate of occupancy? The state government. Who issues you village accession? The state government. So the state government are the owners of every landed property you are going to be purchasing. Although, we are in Nigeria and there are ways around it. For example, if you are buying property from a village, so because of sustaining rural development, I'll give you an example. In Lagos, if anyone tells you that they are from Lagos and you ask them, where's your village? They almost cannot tell you. They'll tell you Isaleko. Isaleko is not a village. Or they'll tell you Badagry or something like that. But you know, if you want to really know what Nigerian culture is or Yoruba culture is, you go to Oyo, you go to Osun. You know, those are the places. I'm not saying those places are villages, but those are where most villages are still preserved because urbanization hasn't gotten there, or very much. So what the state government there will do is that, okay, they know that's fine. Urbanization is going to get here soon. So what they do instead is that they give you village excision. That, okay, you know what, let's preserve this place. Let's give these people 10 hectares of land, so just in case they want to expand in future and all that, so they don't have to struggle and say that, okay, people are buying, or maybe they just wiped out the whole of that indigene through urbanization. So they do what, they give them village excision, they carve out that area. So that is what most real estate companies are benefiting from today. Most of us are benefiting from the excised land that has been given to those villages. That means they have given the community the right to do whatever they want to do with that particular area of land, right? But then, if you want to buy land in somewhere like Lagos mainland, and one family is telling you that we've bought this land a while ago, this land is about this, come and buy. Even if you are going to buy that land, make sure you complete the papers, because you have to be legal compliant. If you don't complete the papers, the state government doesn't have record that you are the owner of the land, and that means they are still the owner of the land. So if anything happens, if they just come, they will even do as if nothing is there. They'll just even say that, okay, this place is where we want to have our hospital. If you like, fight. If you like, call your lawyer. Have you been to Ministry of Fiscal Planning? Have you seen the lawyers there? You can't fight the state government and win. So, also protection of the public. So, this part is very, very important. Many times, property owners think the government is selfish. They just think about themselves when it comes to property development. You know, the government is telling that this place has been preserved for this place has been preserved for this, don't do this, don't do that. There's a Ministry of Waterworks and Drainage in Lagos. And they know the waterway. There's a drainage master plan in Lagos. They know the waterway. They know where the water is supposed to pass. And, you know, there are some places, just like you have, what they call them, like Delta, those distributaries that are just plenty. And, you know, it's not a defined water channel. It's not a defined path. And someone will go there and buy it and sand fill it. So you have something like this at the end of the day. I would say most of the floodings in Lagos is because people build blindly. But then, if you do your property, if you do your approval, that's where you know where your property falls in. And in fact, that's when you know if you can buy it, if you should buy it or not during the investigation, right? There's a place in Ikorodu they call Agric. Do you know why that place is called Agric? It was mapped out as Agric zone. But then people started going, developing. And the government might come or they might not. You know, Lagos state government is very, very lenient when it comes to informal development. There are some places that, probably because of politics, the governor is like, and if I do it, I'll not get enough votes, right? But it's supposed to do it. You know, informal settlement, they just leave it there, because of votes, they'll leave it. Ajao Estates, they not demolish it during the campaign. Maybe they wanted to a while ago, and I'm sorry because of this. But then maybe they would have wanted to do it a while ago, and then the government would be like, still chill. Then it would have killed the first governor, the second governor, you know, Then this one will be like, wait, after my campaign, don't worry, you guys will go and demolish it. If you check very well, that demolition happened after election, right? It's not that they didn't see it, though. They've been giving them notice since, but also politics also comes in the way. Most of this construction, so if you go for approvals, part of what you need are the drawings, the structural drawings, and everything you need, the airspace, everything. And those people will continue coming to your site to inspect. So if you check, most of these collapsed buildings, yeah, escaped these approvals. They just went with their money, then they just started the construction and all that. Or another thing they do is they have the drawings they use for approvals, then they have the drawings they use for construction, separate. Why are they helping? Nobody, you know. So they are wise in their own eyes, but at the end of the day, see, casualties in major states. Look at Lagos. The red bar is for deaths, the blue bar is for collapses. So just 40 collapses. This was as at 2010, not even now, just 40 collapses that resulted to about 180 deaths in Lagos alone. And that is because of approval. So this is how important it is. Many times, people just want to escape approvals. But at the end of the day, they put their life and the environment at risk. So let's go on to environmental sustainability. So the thing is this here, the people who know how best to use a property are professionals in the field. You know, I had to ask you guys questions first about what you studied in school. If you asked, I've come across many clients in my life, you know, and many of them don't even know the use of setback. Many of them don't know the use for beautification or planting trees or anything like that. Many people don't even know what they call ozone layer. If I ask a computer science person, what is ozone layer? Do you know what ozone layer is? Brother, do you know what it is? Do you know what chlorofluorocarbon is? Do you know? Your thoughts. Who knows what fluorochlorocarbon is? Okay. Maybe the last question. Who knows what carbon footprint is? So you see, this is why Lagos State is hot. This is why when you go to the village, your village is cold and Lagos State is hot. Because of something like this. Everywhere is developed. Before you see natural sand, you must go to a place where probably they are still building. The whole of this place, if you are going to take a walk from this place to that junction there, you are going to sweat. And you are going to drink 2 bottles of water at least. You can't even take a walk. You have to take napep. But it's quite walkable. It's quite walkable. Do you agree with me? Yeah. It's walkable. No trees. They've used everything as parking space. They've built everywhere. You can count how many trees. In fact, flowers you'd see along this road. Lagos State is hot. And plants are important. And this is why development is important. This is why approval is important. According to approvals, you know, the architect here can attest to it. If you go for approvals, if you take your drawings for approvals, the town planner will ask you, how many percent of your land are you leaving for greenery? It's supposed to be at least 13%. If you carve out your road, your setback, part of setback is supposed to be for greenery. At least you plant 1 tree. Am I wrong? At least 1 tree. Just put it there. You will thank yourself later. And apart from that, also this is supposed to, when they say sustainable development, now we are saying everywhere in Lagos is developed. If you are going to ask me where your children will buy land in Lagos? What would be the answer?
Build spaces.
But do you know one thing? If you check the map of the UK, London, they have land. You'll be surprised. As small as UK is, there are some spaces there that are being preserved. For what? I don't know. They are preserving it. In fact, they had been preserving their land long ago before they started colonizing. They had already looked at, this place is small. Let's get more land. Then that was even what made them to start colonizing. Check the map of the UK. Very, very small something. But if you want to check the map of Commonwealth, that is countries that they colonized, you'll be surprised. Massive. So we have our land, what are we doing with it? Any small thing, we just want to build. Want to put fence. put fence. You know, so this is just what every property developer should know. Approvals would force you to preserve your land. If you are going to be, maybe if you have an estate, this one is not just one property development now. If you are going to build an estate, maybe about 3 hectares, I bet it with you, if you are going to take that fiscal planning design for a permit, we are going to take that layout for fiscal planning permits, they are going to ask you to leave at least 13% for greenery. That's why most of the estates we go to, they have a playground with trees and all that. Many of them don't want it. Many greedy property developers will tell you that, is that not 2 plots? When I'm selling 1 plot, 2 million. That is 4 million naira. Why would I leave 4 million naira for children to play? You know. And the only way they can do without it is if they escape fiscal planning permits. So this is to conserve energy, reduce waste, and protect natural resources. If not for this year, many people would even go into the bushes. If people had their way, they'll go to Sambisa Forest. They'll buy it and start selling. Right? So property value. I had to put this up so we get to see what eco-EVI environs looks like. This wouldn't have been possible if not for fiscal planning permits. This is not the only coastline in Lagos. We can take this picture and go to, what is this other place? So, Nigeria, Makoko, and take the same picture. They are both coastlines, but what's the difference? Makoko is full of informal settlements, and people are glorifying it, and people are still going there to buy. They are not even buying itself. This one just go, just see this part of the water, and that is causing pollution. Have you seen the water they drink? Have you seen what they put their children through? People poo in that water, and people still swim there and do all those things there. But it's the same. Do you know the funny thing? It's the same lagoon. But what's the difference? Fiscal planning. Fiscal planning permits. Fiscal planning permits would not let any informal settlements happen around here. Anything that's going to happen around here is going to be what was planned to be there. Are we together? Yeah. Nobody, I'll say it again, nobody would have mind to go and carry pako, bamboo to Banana Island and start knocking it. Bang, 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 bang. Then wants to build shanty there. You don't have mind. You dare not. Are we together?
Yes.
So that is then conclusion. I'll read this. Overall, obtaining town planning approval is an important step in property development in Nigeria, as it ensures that construction projects meet specific requirements and standards that promote the health, safety and welfare of the public, while also enhancing the property's value and sustainability. Are we together? So if you are in a place where they are forcing you to do your planning permits and all that, just know one thing. As they are doing it, your neighbor is doing it, then all of you are doing it. And the funny thing is that well-planned places have less issues with pollution, they have less issues with drainage, they have less issues with security, you know, and any of those things you can imagine. If you go to slums today and shanties, those are the places you have higher records of everything. Crime, diseases, pollution, sanitation problem, you know, and all that. So if you are going to have an estate in future, now I'm not even talking about hardborn alone, I'm talking about individuals here. Some of you from this place, this is not a prophecy, but from this place, one of you would be sent to manage the sites in Osun State. You know, one of you will be sent to manage, just as these offices, one of you is sent to manage the site in Ibadan, in Oyo State, right? In Kwara. Yes, hardborn is growing. And by God's grace, in less than 10 years, one of you will be sent all the way to Ghana. You know, one of you sent all the way to Ghana, to Togo, to manage sites. And one thing you have to know is, when you are there, fine, buy underground. That is the cheapest way you get property, when you buy underground. But even while buying underground, make sure you do your due diligence. You know, you ask for the planning approval process and do it. Even if you don't do it at once, at least be in the process of doing it. When I mean be in the process of doing it, at least do a proper layout. And secondly, try to get your title document. It might take a few years, might take a few months, but be in the process of getting it. Because of one thing, if you are buying somewhere that is rural now, in the next few years, development is going to come meet you there. Yeah. And when development comes meet you there, things might change. There are people who bought properties around Aja today, around all those places today. They are built, in fact, they've even forgotten that they've built. But do you know, apart from 4th Mainland Bridge, I was privileged to see the Lekki-Ekpe master plan. There's going to be a 5th Mainland Bridge, a 6th Mainland Bridge, a 7th Mainland Bridge, and the 8th Mainland Bridge. I'm not exaggerating, and I'm not lying. I wouldn't do this on camera. You can check the map for yourself. Google is your friend. Google Lekki-Ekpe master plan. It's an assignment. I would want you to Google Lekki-Ekpe master plan. And I would like you to count how many bridges will be connecting Ekpe environs, Ikorodu Ekpe environs to Lekki environs. 8. No, sorry, there won't be 8. There would be from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 bridges. 5 bridges. And those 5 bridges are going to be connecting the Lekki-Ekpe expressway to the bridge that way. So meaning that everybody who has built along that path, if they are not going to be maybe using the existing roads, you know, it's gone.